Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Goodland. It is another week,
Oh,
another time of existence that we are back here. Um, I am Norrin,
I'm Michael.
and Michael, as my lifelong best friend, um, you may not be aware of this, but I have a brother.
Surprise.
I think I've met him.
Yeah, maybe
times.
maybe once or twice. But today with us on Goodland, we have a very special guest. We have my brother
Hi.
with us.
I'm Logan. I'm excited. A bit nervous, but excited.
Logan, go ahead and tell us, what do you like to do? What are you doing in your life at the moment?
Ooh.
What are you up to?
Well, I'm in college right now, freshman, first year, excited. I play the viola. That's what I studied. Pretty exciting. Do a lot of music stuff. Music is basically the most important thing in my life, so spend a lot of time focused on music, listening to it, like most people do. But that's about it. Yeah. I work at a coffee shop. I'm a barista, which is kind of fun. But, yeah.
Cool. What's your favorite music?
That's an impossible question. I listen to everything except for country music, but even sometimes I listen to country music. I definitely dive in the deep end sometimes.
Cool.
Yeah.
How's your week, Michael?
It's been a good week, busy week. The end of the month is always super busy when it comes to the business world, but ended successfully. I'm alive. I made it to the weekend. And it's finally warming up here in Rexburg. I think finally all the snow melted in my front yard. So that's a good sign, being able to see the grass.
Yeah.
It's exactly how it is in Pocatello too.
Yeah, and that is not how it's been here in Meridian. It has not been snowy for a long time here. So it's the opposite of
Unbelievably
over there
hot
in eastern Idaho. But yeah, so
Dang.
we're
I wore like sandals for the first time the other day and I was satisfied. So
yeah,
can't imagine what it's like in Meridian.
yeah. I slapped on my shorts, my khaki shorts today, and we went shopping, and you definitely tell I hadn't worn shorts for a while. It's a little bright white down there, but it doesn't get better if you don't let them shine. So
exactly.
But yeah, so we're super stoked. Logan's here for the weekend, so we thought it would be great to have him on. And Michael and I have an interesting idea for this week's show. We talked in episode 2 with Spencer. We talked a lot about movies and TV shows and shows that we liked. And one of the things that I notice about my life, especially now that I'm working a full-time job at the bank, I feel like I don't have as much time to myself as I usually like, because I get home from work and I have to go to bed pretty early because I have to wake up pretty early. So I don't have as much time to sit and kind of enjoy the things that I like. So I find myself wishing that I could do 2 things at once. So oftentimes I'll be playing video games on my TV and watching TV on my laptop. But there are so many good shows out right now. I wish I could watch multiple at the same time. And so that is what we're going to look at today in Goodland. We're going to take a show and a movie, or 2 shows or 2 movies or whatever, and we're going to try and combine them and see what it would be like if these properties existed in the same universe. So that is our goal here in this week of Goodland. We're going to try and create certified good creations out of existing TV shows and movies, and see how they might complement each other.
Try.
Yeah.
So basically, we are going to Michael and I have lists, and Logan has a couple. Mm-hmm. We're going to choose one. 2 of us at a time are going to choose one, and then we will tell each other what they are, without thinking beforehand how they might mix. We're just going to choose and then see how they might combine. So Michael, why don't you choose one and I'll choose one, and then we'll tell each other
Okay.
what
Yeah.
we've chosen.
Do you want me to pick should I pick a TV show or a movie? What should we look to combine for this first one?
Why don't you pick a movie? I'll do a TV show.
Okay. All right. I've got a movie.
I've got a TV show. Let's hear. What did you choose?
So I chose Home Alone.
Okay.
Nice.
The first one.
Specific, yes.
Yeah.
I chose Parks and Recreation.
Okay.
Oh.
Not a bad combination.
Yeah, I could actually see this working fairly well. Oh, one thing I didn't think of. We can talk about shows and movies. We're good. I just did not even think about until this moment, like the rule of copyright existing.
I think we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Fair use.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We're not using music or anything from the shows.
Yeah.
So Home Alone and Parks and Recreation.
Logan, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear those combining?
I'm thinking it's taken place in Pawnee, and the villains from Home Alone are trying to steal stuff back from, what's his name? Ron Swanson. They're like trying to get after Ron Swanson.
Oh, okay.
And Ron Swanson has to set up some traps and stuff around the office building.
Okay. So they're in the Parks and Recreation. They're in City Hall.
They're in City Hall, and what happened in the first Home Alone? Why were the villains after?
Well, because Kevin McAllister's family was very rich.
Yeah, they just wanted money.
They left on a vacation.
Ron Swanson does have a lot of money, as we know. So
let's try and fit Kevin McAllister into this.
Oh yeah,
school field trip maybe. There's that one episode of Parks and Rec where the school comes by on the field trip and that little girl has to interview Ron.
Yeah, something that came to mind is like how often Leslie Knope had to go to people's houses to get information. Imagine her trying to go get Kevin's swing vote and meets a couple swinging paint cans,
Love it.
So Kevin is on a school field trip at City Hall and is hanging out with the parks crew when all of a sudden they have to go on lockdown because the wet bandits are attempting to break into City Hall in Pawnee. How does the cast of Parks and Rec, how do they interact with Kevin?
Good question.
Yeah.
I think April would be a big fan of Kevin.
I think so.
As the two of them putting their heads together to come up with the traps.
Yeah.
Pure chaos.
And Ron Swanson could build it all,
Yeah.
Kevin and April are the masterminds, and then Ron just gets to work building it. And then I'm sure we can have some people test it. Andy could test things.
Yeah.
Andy would probably volunteer.
I was thinking Burt Macklin, FBI, isn't that his name?
Yeah.
I think he's coming out in this episode.
Yeah, we'll definitely see him don his FBI vest.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good match. I think.
Yeah, no, that fit together pretty well. Yeah,
that
fit together pretty well. Logan, why don't you pick? What do you want? You want to do a TV show?
I have a TV show in mind. Yeah.
Okay.
I got a good one.
And I'll mix it with, let's say, I'll do a TV show too.
Okay.
We'll mix two. What did you choose?
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Good choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said Stranger Things.
Oh,
I like it.
This could be fun.
Yeah.
What a mix of that, unique fantasy that is Avatar: Last Airbender and that, sci-fi horror that is Stranger Things. Like, what a terrific mix.
I love it.
I think it would be pretty easy to get the Stranger Things kids into the Avatar world.
Mm-hmm.
Like they travel between dimensions to get to
Oh,
the
true.
upside down.
Okay.
So maybe it's just another dimension that they cross into.
Mhm.
And maybe some of the Stranger Things monsters follow them into
Ooh,
the Avatar world.
I like
True.
that.
So
I
then you
could
have
see it. Avatar, whether that's Aang or Korra, either one of them, they're hoping to like bring balance. And I'd say, Portal is allowing a bunch of aliens into any world is not balanced.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Imagine like a Stranger Things parasite, kind of taking over things like the platypus bears, but with like the Demogorgon flower mouths with all the teeth.
yeah. And I mean, you could almost stretch it and say that Elle's a bender,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
She's like, she could be like the next Avatar if they were like separated.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
What elements would the main kids bend?
Dustin would be an earthbender.
Yeah, he would be.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot all their names.
I think Lucas is fire.
Oh yeah.
Lucas
yeah.
is a firebender.
Yeah, fireball, of course. And then the other, he'd probably be a good waterbender.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike. I think Mike would be a good waterbender.
Yeah.
That makes Elle air. I could see, since she
Oh yeah.
She's kind of a figure.
Elle would
figure
probably
point.
be the Avatar.
She would be the Avatar. Like 100%.
She's certainly more powerful.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see if who is Mike the main kid. I think it'd be cool if he was a non-bender.
Yeah, that would work very well.
Because he's still like the leader. And so that'd be kind of nice.
That would be cool, to see someone without the powers taking over and leading the group. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we certainly get to see a good mix with all of them, I'd say.
And I think like the personalities would mix really well too. Like the Avatar crew is mostly just a couple years older than the Stranger Things kids, because they're like 15, and I think Sokka is like 16 or something at the start of Avatar.
They're both kind of in that teenage range. They definitely would fit together pretty well.
Aang is closer to the age of the Stranger Things kids. They're about 13 and 14. So I think they would fit really well. And like Sokka and Suki being like the group parents, and like Zuko being like the group dads, like babysitting the kids.
Yeah.
That would work very well.
Kind of funny.
Especially if like the sister and Joe Keery's character, why am I blanking on their names?
Steve Harrington.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve would be a good choice.
He, like him and Sokka, the two of them interacting would be hilarious.
That'd be so funny.
And like talking about their hair and like the hair products that they use.
Yeah. Who would Lucas be? Where would Lucas fit into all of this? We talked about all the main ones except Lucas, right?
I said that I thought Lucas would be a good firebender.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lucas. Oh, I was thinking Will.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Will.
Will be.
Yeah, I thought Will was the firebender, but I think Lucas would be a good firebender, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then of course we've got like Hopper. We've got some other
Joyce.
people that could definitely be good.
Gosh. I think Hopper should be fire for sure.
Yeah. If Hopper was a bender, he would definitely be fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that the firebender that tried to teach Aang.
Oh
yeah. And then Aang was trying to go too fast and ended up burning Katara.
Yeah. What's his name? Like Zhang or something?
Zhang. I think that's his name, Zhang.
Yeah. Man.
Imagine like Iroh and Hopper hanging out, and like Iroh's trying to get him to drink tea, and Hopper just has like all these beer cans that he brought with him in like a backpack.
They'd probably butt heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would, for sure.
So funny. funny.
I would love to see like Steve and Zuko hanging out, and Zuko, like Steve thinking he's all tough and like the leader and all serious, and Zuko just like not taking him seriously at all.
That would fit. That's very fitting of that. I'd say I would watch, a combination of these two things. I mean, I'm looking forward to like the next seasons of both of them. So I'd watch them put together. Why not?
Oh,
Yeah. Did you guys hear about Avatar Studios?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they come out with for that.
There's already an animated movie that they're putting into production. Like they're working on a brand new animated movie. And their plan is to make a bunch more movies and more TV shows set in the universe. And I think I'm so excited to see what the potential is.
Yeah, a lot of potential there.
I'm excited to see him follow someone other than the Avatar in the show. I think that'd be so cool to see.
My hope is that we see more prequels.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to see like before Aang, because I like that sort of like medieval-esque kind of fantasy, like feudal style that they had. I think, I mean, I guess it would be kind of cool to see it going forward, like if we even got like a sort of cyberpunk Avatar. Like
that
if you went really into the future,
some things to that. Yeah.
That would be pretty interesting.
That'd be really cool.
But I definitely would prefer that we go back in time as opposed to forward.
Yeah.
Or I mean, maybe we go forward and there's like, you do like an apocalypse, like a Mad Max style Avatar
we need
show.
A Mad Max and Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool. And it's all like everything is kind of gone like apocalypse and everyone's broken up into these different clans, and they have the remnants of technology, but not a lot of it, like almost Fallout style. That would be kind of cool too. But I'm super excited for it. I can't wait to see what comes out of it all. I loved Avatar so much, and Stranger Things. It's hard for me to believe that season 4 is even still happening. I feel like it's been forever since we heard about it last.
I didn't even know there was a season 4.
They released a trailer for it like a year ago at this point. It feels.
Yeah, it's a while's away. So
definitely got delayed heavily by.
I wonder why.
But it's gonna be weird because the kids are gonna be so much older now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing about using child actresses. It feels like they grow up so fast. So going back and watching season 1 and then watching season 4, even though only a few years have passed, it's just gonna feel wildly different.
Yeah. I mean, those are important years.
Yeah.
Goes by. Dang. All right. Well, there's some good combinations right there. So
Yeah.
Do you have another one, Michael?
Yeah, sure. I'll go with a TV series if someone wants to
I have
put something to the table.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So I have the TV series Phineas and Ferb.
I like it. I was thinking Harry Potter.
Okay. All
Oh
right.
man.
That could
Phineas
be
and
very
Ferb meets
fun.
Harry Potter. Oh man, that sounds amazing.
Like, think of all that Phineas and Ferb have been capable of doing if they had magic too. My gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're definitely like, and like we haven't seen Phineas and Ferb at school, we've only seen them on summer vacation.
Yeah.
So
True.
then school starts up again after the 100 and
They go to Hogwarts.
yeah, the 104 days of summer vacation. They go to Hogwarts at the end of it.
Man, what a plot twist. Here they're like,
okay.
oh man, we have to live the most out of our summer. We don't want to go back to school. And we find out it's Hogwarts this whole time.
Those ungrateful bastards.
What I'd give to go back to school.
What houses are the Phineas and Ferb kids in?
Buford is Slytherin, obviously.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good fit there.
Baljeet is
Ravenclaw.
Yeah.
Baljeet's
Yeah, certainly Ravenclaw.
Phineas and Ferb, I think, are both Gryffindor. I think they'd be in the same house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
can
could
see
be in
that.
Gryffindor.
And then I think Isabella is Hufflepuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. What
And
would Candace be in?
Candace is Slytherin.
Oh yeah, she's Slytherin.
There we go.
Candace is Slytherin. And Perry the Platypus is campus security.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What's his name? Monogram?
Yeah.
That would definitely be like Hagrid.
Yeah. Doof is Voldemort, basically.
That'd be a pretty good one. Yeah.
He's a Death Eater, but they always send him off on missions on his own. That, like,
Yeah.
it's like the equivalent of letting your kid's sibling play on a controller that's not plugged in. It's like that's the kind of
Yes.
missions that they send Doofus shorts on. Like they have no
just
consequence.
try and do this. Good luck.
Can you imagine the chaos that would ensue if Phineas and Ferb were hanging out with like Fred and George Weasley?
Oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. They'd have some good combinations there.
That'd be so wild.
And like the mixing of Phineas and Ferb's like tech with the magic of the wizarding world.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they don't even use pencils in the
Yeah.
wizarding world. So
Yeah.
a roller coaster, that'd blow some minds.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
Although I don't know, because they fly on brooms all the time, and you've seen how
That's true.
fast those brooms can go.
It's true.
That's
I think
true.
it might be equal parts mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like we might actually see Phineas and Ferb flummoxed for once. I mean, they went to like space and hung out with aliens, but
Mhm.
Yeah.
True. They'd probably be like a little bit confused that, you can kind of have something from nothing with magic. You cast
Yeah.
a spell and it's there. No
Yeah.
engine, no tech, just magic. So
Oh, that'd be interesting. I'm thinking of like having magic and the tech mix is kind of like a steampunk kind of thing.
oh yeah.
That'd
You
be
just created steampunk.
yeah, like
Yeah.
mixing magic and tech.
I kind of really want this to happen now. This
Yeah, I
this
think
one in
this one would
particular
be
sounds
a good
awesome.
one. I
'Cause
mean,
we
they've
know-
done like Phineas and Ferb and Star Wars before.
Yeah,
like,
and they
Yeah.
did like
done
the
that.
Marvel one too, where they did the
Yeah.
Marvels. So we know that they're crossover ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's this? Who does Disney need to buy now? Is that
I
Warner
think that's
Brothers?
Warner. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's Warner.
Disney needs to buy Warner, and then we're good to go.
We're set.
That might complete the whole like trifecta that would finalize their monopoly over
Definitely.
over everything. They're working on a new Harry Potter game, like an RPG. It's supposed to come out next year, I believe, is what
Oh,
the
that's
tentative
cool.
release date is. But it's like set in like the 1900s or something, and you get to like make your own wizard and sort yourself, and it's a full-on RPG, so you can go to classes to raise your different stats and stuff, and it's like talent trees to learn spells and
Oh, cool.
Like
Is it like
open world-
open world?
open
or-
world explorable Hogwarts.
Okay, that's
That
cool.
sounds
You can-
amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems
Wow.
really cool.
So when you get that game, create Phineas and role play as Phineas.
Role play as
Yeah,
Phineas.
hopefully the sliders and the character creation let you get wild enough to just
With
like
the nose.
triangulate the face.
There we go.
What we need to hire a modder to go in there and mod the game for us. enough.
Take the Oblivion character creation and you're set.
There we
You're
go.
set.
That'd be awesome.
Oh man, that would be great.
So we will make this happen. If Disney
Yeah.
doesn't
Yeah.
buy Warner Brothers, we have a backup.
If Disney doesn't buy Warner Brothers, we will.
We're doing it.
We'll take it into our own hands. Okay, Michael, pick another one.
Okay. Yeah. So I have Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones.
Okay. I chose The Office.
Oh, geez.
That'd be awesome. I'm trying to think what world we'd put this in.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like
I think a mix. I think, you know how Indiana Jones, wasn't he a college professor? Is that what he was?
Oh yeah, he is a college professor, so that
I
could be our
think-
bridge.
I was thinking maybe just pop him in Dunder Mifflin instead of the college.
so he daylights as a paper salesman,
Yeah.
and at night he's
He's
Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Maybe
Uh-huh.
Michael
I think it'd be
Scott is
hilarious
Rudy.
too. Yeah, we can have Dwight trying to constantly track him down or figure him out. Like, I know you go somewhere. Where do you go?
And like Indiana Jones, like he takes the idol off of the stand and replaces it, and then he hears like the rumbling from the boulder, and he just like looks into the camera.
I think that could be a pretty good combination.
Oh, man.
like a remake of Raiders of the Lost Ark, but make it like a mockumentary where you cut away to interview gags.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. He's just sitting there explaining what just happened. I think that could be very fun. It just reminds me like so much of, we just had WandaVision, and they just like, you know, they followed through so many things, you know, of classic historical like genres of TV show. So
Yeah.
just do it with Indiana Jones, and that would be hilarious.
It's so good.
That actually would be really funny, like a kind of multiverse hopping Indiana Jones, where every episode is a different like style. Like you have a Western, and then you have a comedy like The Office.
That'd be
and
so
then,
good. Sci-fi fantasy with him.
oh, that'd be really cool.
That'd be fun.
I mean, they already did Aliens with
yeah,
Crystal Skull,
yeah, with
so
Crystal
that
Skull.
would be too
That's
hard.
the only one
Aren't
I
they
have
actually supposed to be making like a new Indiana Jones movie? Thought I
Rumor
heard that
has it
somewhere.
there's a fifth one. I think it's still kind of stuck in development. Like I don't think it's necessarily made it past the scripting phase yet. And I think at this point, I don't know if Harrison Ford could do Indiana Jones again.
Yeah. Well, I think the point was that they were gonna have someone else do it. I want to say it was almost like a prequel, or just maybe like a new Indiana Jones.
I mean, like an Indiana Jones reboot would be kind of neat. Like we don't need it to be a sequel or a prequel. Just like a fresh start on Indiana Jones would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Would be really neat.
And then you take like a young guy and then kind of follow him. I would like to see like a Disney Plus series.
Oh.
Like
Yeah,
Indiana
series
Jones.
is always a good option for those things like that, because then it's not like full movies. You know, TV series it's usually easier for me to get down with like remakes through a TV series. So
Yeah.
I was just kind of talking about this, but I think TV series, like after watching like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think like high budget TV series like that are kind of like my preferred. I prefer them over movies almost now, especially for adapting things.
Oh yeah.
Like Percy Jackson is going to get the TV show adaptation. Like they're going to do a Percy Jackson Disney Plus show. And I think that'll be so much better because like we've seen with WandaVision, we're seeing now with like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that allows you to essentially take a movie and like slow it down and really explore the characters and the relationships. Like I think if you look at like the failed movie adaptations, like you look at the Percy Jackson movies or the Aragon movie, the things that they cut out of those adaptations are like the character moments that really made those books shine. Because
there's only so much you can do with a movie. You know, you have to make cuts somewhere.
Yeah. And they often cut out the character interactions and the slower moments that let you get a feel for the uniqueness of the world. Like in those movies, they try to adapt them in a way that everything is happening and flashy because they're trying to make it look good on a movie screen. So you don't get to see like the nuance and the uniqueness of these fantasy worlds that have been created. So taking it and slowing it down in the form of a TV show, I think is brilliant. And I wish that more things would do that.
Yeah, I think we're definitely like in a period where we are shifting to more of that. Cause like, I feel the exact same. Whenever you're trying to adapt something, it's so much easier to do it to a TV series. You're able to put so much more in there. Some adaptations are great, like the Lord of the Rings. Those are like perfect. They did a great job adapting it. There are some things that go well. I'd say on most of the majority, it doesn't turn out that well. It's good. We like it because it's, finally the things that we love on screen. But overall, it's definitely easier in a TV series. So
Oh yeah.
I definitely agree. So that's everything that we come up with here today. We just need to make sure they get into a TV series.
It will all be episodic. Yes.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
movies.
It's actually going to be one season, and each episode is just different. First episode is Phineas and Ferb and Harry Potter. Next, it's Indiana Jones and the
Yeah.
Office, and we'll just have a whole series where we just jump
like-
ship.
Like that Love, Death, and Robots on Netflix. Or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah,
where
yeah, that kind of
every
anthology, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah, I think TV shows are totally the way to go. And I think like, especially like what we've been seeing on Disney Plus with Falcon and the Winter Soldier and WandaVision, I think the MCU should do more TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, what they've shown is that the TV shows are awesome. And these characters that don't get to shine in the movies, they were never leads before. They're showing that they all have the capability to be leads. And if anything, I think that makes it feel more like the comic book origins of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Because you get each one of those characters has their own series of comic books, and then they come together for these big crossover events. And I think that's kind of how it should be going forward. We're seeing how well it works. I think they should do all these series for these different guys, and then the movies should be used as bookends and like big events.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like
I would
Avengers be the movies, and then each individual. Yeah, I think that would be a great way of doing things.
Yeah,
That'd be
because then you can
fantastic.
spend way more time with the characters, and then it would make the movies more of an event, because you'd be like, now we get to watch them on the big screen in the movies.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think part of it too is like TV shows now have such a large budget, now that studios are realizing, what, hey, we can make a TV series super big and super popular this way. And it helps also, like, WandaVision, it's not going to be something like Friends where it carries on for season after season after season. It makes it easier to dump a bunch of money into one season, but just have it be so good.
Yeah, that's what I think. Like the MCU doing these TV shows is brilliant because, like you said, WandaVision is one season, one and done, and it essentially, if you once you watch it when it's done, it's basically like an 8-hour movie essentially, and it just, I don't know, I feel like it's just so much more freeing, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's the way to go.
I definitely agree. Can't
Okay.
wait to see more.
Let's make some more mixes.
Let me see if I can think of any.
Logan, do you have anything, Logan?
Oh, I have a TV show.
TV show?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your TV show?
Adventure Time.
Nice. Good one.
Yeah.
I'll say the Star Wars, but we'll go specifically the original trilogy.
Okay. Original trilogy is Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Han, Luke, and Leia.
I gotta make sure.
Honestly, like mixing Adventure Time with that would be pretty cool because
Yeah.
Adventure Time is already weird enough, and
I was gonna say
kinda-
Adventure Time is like very diverse already to begin with. They could throw anything at me in an episode and I wouldn't think twice about it.
Exactly.
yeah, and like honestly, like we've seen Star Wars get weird, like in especially if we did like Lego Star Wars, like the strangeness of the
Yeah,
Lego
that's
Star
like
Wars.
a Star Wars to its own.
Yeah,
It really is.
and I think that kind of style would fit really well with
Mhm.
Adventure Time as well.
Yeah.
Like the kind of goofy humor that they both carry on.
I'd like to see Finn wield a lightsaber instead of a sword.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like even the characters themselves in Adventure Time are so diverse, and they
Yeah.
shift around constantly, like they grow and they change. So it'd be so easy even to just adapt Adventure Zone characters to be the characters in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a winner for sure. I like it. And there's already like fan art out there combining the two of them.
Yeah.
So just like animating that into its own special, I think would be brilliant. And like the weirdness of it, like Star Wars gets pretty weird too. All the different creatures that they have, and like in Rogue One, that thing with the tentacles that like read that guy's mind.
Oh
Yeah, there's definitely quite a few weird things in Star Wars, especially as it's expanding here. We get to see a little bit more of like the weird sides, these small little like niche creatures and worlds. So I mean, there could be a whole world where it's just like, you know, the people of Adventure Time, that's its native species. So it would be very easy to do. So
Dang.
I'm very excited for all the new Star Wars that's going to start coming out. I think, and I like that they're like taking risks with it. You know, like it's not all just the same stuff that we've been seeing. Like Star Wars Visions, I think is what it's called, is going to be a series where they have a bunch of different, like it's going to be like an anthology series, and every episode is going to be made by like a different like prominent like anime studio.
Oh.
And so it's going to be a bunch of little like Star Wars anime things.
So cool.
And each one is going to tell a different self-contained story. And I think that just sounds awesome and out of the box and weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Star Wars like universe is so diverse, like we mentioned, like before, you know, before Disney bought everything, there were so many different books and each one had a different author, you know, so there were just different stories everywhere. And I think that's like the true spirit of Star Wars, is just being able to tell so many different stories. Like, yeah, a lot of them come back to the Skywalker family, but still there's so much to tell. So that's so cool that they're opening it up so that other people can tell those diverse stories.
Yeah, I think that's how you know you have the true brilliance in a franchise or a world. The true brilliance comes of being able to adapt it to different genres. You know, like if you look at, I think there are certain things that are created that are kind of stuck in the niche that they are created to be in. But you take things like Star Wars, and you can apply any genre to Star Wars. Like we saw it with Solo as like a space Western. And then Clone Wars did it with a couple episodes of the Clone Wars show where they did like the mysteries, like where Padme, that one episode where Padme was doing that like murder mystery, and she was like investigating all the different clues and stuff with that inspector guy that was voiced by Tom Kenny, the really big cheeks, you know?
Yeah.
But like that's the true brilliance of Star Wars, is that it can be any genre. You can tell like you could tell like a Star Wars comedy show would work well if you wanted to slow it down and just take two average people in the Star Wars universe. Like that's how you know the universe is good, because it can be a backdrop for any kind of story you want to tell. It's not, the stories aren't so reliant on the world. The world is a supplement for the stories. And I think the other thing that I've been realizing, and I have been talking about how good I think the Ninja Turtles are for years now. Anyone who knows
Norrin
me
loves Ninja Turtles. Okay?
Anyone who knows me knows that I am a diehard Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan. And I have realized, I have been reading through the current IDW comic book run of Ninja Turtles. This has been going on for years now. They're up into like issue 118 at this point of this current run. But what it's made me realize, it's helped me realize the brilliance of Ninja Turtles, is that it's such a weird concept that it can be anything. Like inside Ninja Turtles, you have them going to space to hang out with aliens. And then you have this like ancient Japanese mythology magic coming and working in. So you have science fiction, you have fantasy, and then the Ninja Turtles themselves, like being teenagers, you know, you can do easy, just kind of like comedy gags with them.
Yeah, good pizza, good times, like good friends, skateboarding. Like there's so much that you get to throw in there.
You can make them solve mysteries, you know, like you can apply the Ninja Turtles to any genre of story that you want to tell. And it's just because they're so weird that they fit into anything because they don't really fit anywhere. And I think that's the secret brilliance of it. And I think like a world where you can allow something like that to occur, like Star Wars, is how you know you have the true brilliance. And I know it's going to seem weird that I just kind of compared the brilliance of Ninja Turtles to the brilliance of Star Wars, but I stand by it.
That's what we do here. And I'd say, you know, that's probably a big reason why so many people had problems with the new reboots of Star Wars, is because, you know, a lot of people had in their mind like structured what Star Wars was, you know, and then these different things are happening, you know, so they're going to dislike it if you're fixed on an idea of what something should be and it's anything different, you know, then it's really hard to accept it. You know, but when you're able to like accept and say, you know what, I think it's cool that they're going in this direction for this episode, you know, this movie, you know, when you're able to accept it, then things become so much more like, I think even just like being able to apply this principle to Marvel movies, you know, they're typically your classic superhero comes in, saves the bad guy trying to destroy the world. But even like putting like the little bit of mystery into WandaVision, you know, that little bit of tension there where like there's not a big bad guy the whole series, like that just adds so much more to it, you know, so many more layers that people can enjoy. So I'm totally a fan of how people are being much more diverse these days.
Yeah, and I think like with like WandaVision's a great example of how like the MCU, you know, it definitely is a little bit formulaic. You know, they know it works, and especially, and that's one of the things that I think is one of the faults of movies, is that you have such a rigid structure that you have to follow in a movie. Otherwise, it won't like make sense.
Yeah,
and that's what I think
you have
is the
2 hours
brilliance.
to save the world. That's pretty much what it is every time.
Yeah, you have to set up this 3-act structure across 2 hours, and so there's not a lot of room for them to experiment with superheroes, because people go and they, you know, they want to see superheroes. So I think the TV shows are brilliant because you get to slow it down and break down those walls. And WandaVision is so weird and off the wall and unlike anything that we've seen before. It was brilliant, and that's why one of my most hyped Marvel projects coming up is Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Multiverse of Madness sounds like it's going to be awesome. And the original pitch for it was that it was going to be like kind of a horror movie in a way. And I think, again, taking this formula and trying to stretch it into different genres, I think is hopefully will pay off really well.
Hopefully.
I mean, I guess we'll see when it comes out, but being able to take these, and now that, especially since the MCU has been going on for over 10 years at this point, being able to break down those formulaic walls and get weird, now that we know that people are loyal to the MCU, now that we know we have people who will watch whatever comes out for Marvel, now they can really get weird with it because they know people are going to watch it regardless.
It opens so many doors for them. Like they can do anything they want and it'll be okay, really.
Okay. There we go. We broke down the formula. Here we are just having fun combining things, and we broke it down why that's important, being able to combine things. So
who knew that this little exercise in Strangeness here was going to lead to us cracking the code of entertainment.
Entertainment of the future. It's going to be this.
What do you think, Michael? Do you have another one? Logan, do you have another one?
Yeah, we can do one more. Let's see here.
I don't know if I have another. Oh, I have another one.
All right, Logan, you go.
Okay, I'm thinking Naruto.
Nice. The one that I have is Malcolm in the Middle.
Oh no. Oh geez. I'm just thinking of all the chaos that those kids
that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Utter chaos.
Yeah,
really.
like Malcolm and Dewey and Reese, but with like ninja jutsu powers.
Oh man. Having them use like clone jutsu and having just hundreds of them.
Hundreds of Reeses just going around punching people.
It would be utter chaos.
I think those kids are the villains in the Naruto series. they wouldn't be the heroes.
Honestly, though, I could see this working kind of well. Like we've seen a show like Naruto is like episodic and like story driven, but
Mhm.
we've seen that like with Teen Titans getting like almost the sitcom treatment as it goes into Teen Titans
True.
Go. Like you could do that with Naruto and
Oh,
make it like sitcom style so that they're not, so then it's easier to tell Malcolm in the Middle style jokes.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like Ninja Turtles, like they joke around all the time. They're a bunch of brothers goofing off. Obviously, some episodes are more humorous than others, but I think it could be done pretty easily.
Yeah.
And we already know that Malcolm in the Middle is good for crossovers because they did a Malcolm in the Middle themed WandaVision.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's been done, and it was great. I remember watching WandaVision and just hoping that they would do a Malcolm in the Middle, because I was watching Malcolm in the Middle at the time. I was rewatching it, and I was like, please, that would be hilarious. So
That is such a good show.
It's so good.
it's
I
hard
think
to
I've
be.
watched it 3 times now, at least.
Yeah. But yeah, that kind of chaos, like those kids being able to be ninjas on top of being as wild as they are.
Yeah. All those pranks they already pulled, just to another extent. Oh man. Thinking about Stevie, I don't know what would happen to that poor kid.
Yeah.
He like the Dungeons and Dragons combat wheelchair. Like you could totally trick it out and he could be like
True.
this secret, like just ultimate warrior ninja
Yeah.
wheeling around and like shooting shuriken out of the
Then you have
Out of his, like,
Francis.
arms. Oh yeah. Oh,
in like
jeez.
ninja jail.
He would just teach all his younger brothers the most chaotic things they could do.
Like
Yeah.
all the forbidden powers that they're not supposed to access.
Yeah. Oh jeez.
Michael, do you have another one?
Yeah, I have, let's see. I have The Witcher. That's one that I have. The Witcher
Okay.
TV series.
I was thinking SpongeBob.
Oh no.
I just think my first thought is what's that one fish like in all black leather and like stud spikes all over him?
Oh, Dennis.
Yeah. Just thinking of him as the Witcher.
Oh,
And they're fighting like the sea bears from the camping episode.
yeah.
Like it's Dennis from the SpongeBob movie, but with long white hair, and he's got like this, these 2 swords on his back, and he like takes it off and like spins in a circle, dragging it in the sand, and draws his anti-sea bear circle with his giant sword.
I think that would be hilarious.
That would be
Very,
so
very
good.
different genres.
Yeah. I still haven't seen the Witcher TV series, and I only played 10 minutes of The Witcher 3, I think it was. I have very
See-
limited knowledge, but
I have not played the video game at all. I want to now.
Wow, you guys should.
yeah.
The Witcher 3 is fantastic. It's like one of the best like open world RPGs of all time. People rave about it endlessly. It's so good. And the TV show is really good too. It can be a little confusing because the timeline is weird. They're
Like 100% confusing.
yeah.
That's what
It's
I heard.
taken me so much to focus, but it's like it's given me a little challenge to try and figure everything out. So I've enjoyed it. It's been like a mystery.
Season 2 just wrapped.
Oh,
Wrapped
really?
filming. So
Wow.
and I
All
think
right.
I think they're shooting to have it out by the end of this year.
Oh,
Um, so season 2 is coming out soon, but
I gotta get binging.
yeah, I can't believe that neither of you guys have played them as like avid Skyrim fans as you both are.
Yeah, that's fair.
I play Skyrim religiously.
Same.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
played it today.
like it's so good because it's and honestly, there's no reason for neither of you to play it and enjoy it because it's very like it's like the fundamentals of Skyrim, but you take that and you kind of expand it. Like one of the best things about The Witcher is its side quests because they're so like unique and diverse. Like it's not just go here and kill this thing or bring me this many plants and stuff. Like there's so many different ones, and all of them have gorgeous cutscenes and fully voice acted.
Dang.
And there's like a really robust potion crafting system, and they invented a whole card game for it. So you can you could just sit and play cards the whole time if you wanted to.
It's like in
Not
Red
bad.
Dead 2.
In Red Dead, where you could, but seriously, I don't know why neither of you guys have played it. I got on Steam my first year in college. They were selling the Witcher 3 Game of the Year edition, so it was the Witcher 3 and all of the DLC for $20 on Steam.
Oh dang.
I just checked right now. It is $10
Yeah,
for the
So-
next day.
yeah. So both of you need to download it tonight because
So Logan, I'm doing it. Are you doing it?
I wish I could. I'm still living on that college budget. I cannot
But-
afford a video game.
it's so good. It's totally worth playing. Michael, I hope you're getting it because I'm telling you, you're gonna love it.
We have it because I bought it.
Yeah, and this has been the segment where I spend 5 minutes plugging CD Projekt Red's old game.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know it was by them. Didn't they just do Cyberpunk?
They did.
Yeah, interesting that they went from such a good game, like such a well-received game, to Cyberpunk, which is what it is. I've heard terrible things. It's so
It is.
buggy.
It is so sad to me that Cyberpunk ended up the way that it did, and a lot of that is CD Projekt Red's fault, because not only did they rush it and put it out in the buggy state it was, but they also severely overhyped it, and that wasn't all their fault, because all of the gaming websites picked up on that as well.
Yeah.
But basically they were just pushing Cyberpunk as the future of gaming, and the biggest thing to ever happen to the world of gaming, since the release of since the shift from 2D
Yeah,
to 3D games.
there was
Yeah.
a lot of hype, a lot
Yeah.
of hype for it, and then it just disappeared.
I played it all. I pre-ordered it and I played it the day it launched, and I went through and I beat the whole main storyline, and I put probably well over 100 hours into it. It's really fun. The story is really good, and it really is you do feel free while playing it. The choices that you make, a lot of them do matter and affect the outcome of the game. There are a lot of places to make choices. The open world of it is super fun. It's a fantastic mix of Grand Theft Auto and that kind of Skyrim, Witcher open world thing. It's a great mix of those two formulas. I think even if it had released without the bugs that tore it to shreds, because that was honestly the biggest problem with it, was that it was, especially because I'm playing on an original Xbox One, which when the game was announced, this was the console it was announced for. Then they later switched and said, it's optimized for Series X and PlayStation 5.
Mhm.
And so it kind of left PS4 and Xbox One in the dust, which even though that was the one that was originally advertised for, I still it was still playable. It got really weird a couple of times. There was this one time where you can call your car, or you can call your vehicle and it will drive up to you, but I kept getting this glitch where it would call two of them and then they would crash into each other. But there was this one time where I did it and nothing was happening, so I just kept pressing the call button.
Oh no.
And then 30 motorcycles just rained from the sky and fell on top of each other in this big pile of motorcycles, all trying to occupy the same space in game. So they're bouncing around and flying off. And then they just explode all at once. 30 motorcycles just exploding. And I just got completely engulfed in flames and
I
died
think
because of it.
video game glitches can be fun. Again,
So fun.
always going back to Skyrim.
Yep.
Video game glitches can be great. So
Oh man.
I have definitely downloaded The Witcher 3. That is going now. But
Good.
I think SpongeBob would be good. I could also see SpongeBob working as the bard. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Imagine
Like
the
Dennis
bard
walking
being
around as the
switched.
Witcher, and then Yaskier coming with SpongeBob.
Yep.
That would be fantastic.
Jeez.
All of these are things I want to see. I wish that I was someone who could like animate
I know.
to make these happen, because I have this image in my head, like what I was talking about before, like spinning in a circle, like dragging the sword to make the anti-Seabird circle. I just have this scene playing over and over again in my head, and I think it would just be so cool. And the sea bear is like following him around as he does it. Or like in the SpongeBob movie, that giant football fish that SpongeBob and Patrick are running from in the paddy wagon, as it's like chasing them down with like the ice cream lady on its tongue, like having to fight that thing as the Witcher, these giant monster hunter.
I looked up The Witcher and SpongeBob, and I got a nice image of SpongeBob being the bard with Squidward as the Witcher.
Oh, is it the pizza episode? Like edited to be it?
Oh, jeez.
That's
all
funny.
right.
Oh man. Okay, what do you think? We got one more in us.
I do.
Okay, sounds good.
What's yours, Logan?
Jeez. Pokemon.
Okay.
Indigo League to be specific.
Okay, so OG Pokemon crossed with Friends.
Oh.
Okay, I'd like that. That'd be really cool.
So
what starter would everyone choose?
Oh.
It's safe to say that Ross would have a team of fully like fossil Pokemon.
That's a very safe bet.
Ross would have fully fossil Pokemon. I think Phoebe would be a psychic type trainer.
Yeah.
That'd make a lot of sense. Definitely psychic.
Rachel would have those like the glamour ones, like that, like the cats and stuff. I think.
Oh, like Glameow.
Yeah.
And like Skitty.
Yeah, she'd just have the good looking Pokemon.
Some EVs
for
maybe.
Aesthetics.
Chandler, Chandler and Joey could have like Psyduck, because they had the little chickies.
They did. They had a little duck.
So funny.
They could share custody of a single Psyduck.
They could be like Team Rocket together.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
I'm thinking instead of Central Perk, it would just be a like in Pokemon Sun and Moon, those Poke Centers, it'd be like that.
Oh, the Poke Centers that you could like get
mix with the
smoothies
Pokemon.
at.
Yeah. That's where they'd hang out.
Yeah, they totally would hang out at a Pokemon Center. Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool. I think it would be hilarious too, is like with Pokemon, so often the main characters are all like younger. So seeing Pokemon with like adults and like more humorous scenario, I think that would be hilarious. I would watch that.
And honestly, like if you think about it, most like in the Pokemon world, it's the kids that are traveling around going on journeys, and it's the adults who set themselves up as like gym leaders and like Pokemon League champions. So that would really fit with the Friends thing, where they stay in one place basically, and they travel to like
they're pretty stationary.
They go to just a select few locations. Like if each of them, like maybe a couple of them are gym leaders, and some of them like obviously Ross would work at like one of those. There's always some kind of lab in the Pokemon world.
Yeah,
so true. Ross would be like one of the lab attendants. Like they would all have like just Pokemon jobs, and so it would allow you to be a lot more stationary. And then they would all meet at the Poke Center like after work.
In the gyms, how they have like the grunts at the beginning, I think that's what Chandler would be, because he works under that lady. I think she would be the gym leader.
Oh, and he would be just one of the
yes.
He's not even the leader.
That's his whole thing when he like switches jobs and he's having a crisis about it. They could easily adapt so many things.
Man, I really want to see this now.
This might be the best one.
Yeah.
Like a Pokemon sitcom with like adults who work at all these different, like they could be in like they're in New York and Friends. they could be in like a big Pokemon thing, like Lumio City,
Mhm.
you know, like one of those big like super metropolitan areas, or like Modestoke from Sword and Shield,
Mm.
or whatever the one that's supposed to be London. I don't remember. It's like the last one that you go to in Sword and Shield. It's supposed to be London, but like one of those big like metropolitan cities. And they could totally like in Detective Pikachu, um, like
Yeah, they did that pretty good.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that big like Pokemon metropolis that they show off in Detective Pikachu, like that style. And like there would just be Pokemon flying around everywhere that you go.
That'd be so cool. Central Park is just full of wild Pokemon.
Yeah. I think, I mean,
Yeah.
the Unova is based on like New York and like America, like the Unova
Oh.
region.
Mm.
In I think Unova's black and white, isn't it?
I
But
I can't recall. I haven't played in so long.
yeah,
I haven't even played Black and White.
I'm pretty sure Unova is black and white. But it's like the main city is like based on New York, and it's so you could just like set them there, and then they all have their individual jobs, and then they meet up after work, and
Yeah.
it's like Friends, but you mix in Pokemon with it. That would be fantastic.
That'd be really cool.
I think that's a good one. Good finisher.
Yeah. I underestimated. I heard Friends after I said Pokemon. I was like, oh gosh. But now I'm like,
No, I think
wanna
it works
see
really
it.
well. In fact, it might be the best one that we've done.
Yeah.
It's the one I'm most excited about.
I think so too.
Man. So on that note, if anyone would like to hire us, I think we've come up with some really solid ideas. And Pokemon Company, if you are listening, please, we want
Please
this more
do
than
this.
anything. More than anything, I want
begging.
this to happen. And we will star in it.
I'll be a voice actor for it if I need to.
I'll be Chandler.
Yeah, same.
Dibs on Chandler.
All right, you can be Chandler. I'll be Joey.
I was
can do
gonna say
that.
I'll be Ross. I should be able to get that speaking pattern down.
Perfect. So there you have it. That is what we would like. And in Goodland, you know, one of the reasons that we had this idea is because when you visit Goodland, when you stay in Goodland, you turn on the TV. Every movie and every TV show in Goodland is a combination of another one. That's just how it works here, because you know in Goodland we like everything to be as good as possible, and so the best way to do that is to take two things that everyone loves and mix them together and make it even better. So that's why he had this idea, you know. So thank you for coming along with us and stepping into Goodland and with us and taking a look at how just things work here in the Valley. So we really appreciate that. We hope you enjoyed this little peek into life here, you know, and we hope that we have convinced you to sit and stay a while, you know, maybe ask for, you know, if you've got enough leave saved up at work, you know, take your next vacation.
Yeah.
Come visit Goodland. Come sit in the stream and hang out in the valley where everything is good. Yeah. So everyone, thank you so much for listening. We're so glad to we're glad to do this every week. It makes us happy. It's really really good to be able to chat with each other and hang out. So we love that. We love you all. Don't forget to check out Goodland on our socials at Goodland Pod on Instagram and Twitter. We're Goodland on Facebook. If you listen on YouTube, like and subscribe and comment. And shameless plug, if you like D&D, or even if you don't like D&D and you just want to know more about it, you don't like it yet, go listen to Dungeon Stories. That's another podcast that Michael and I do. And it's good.
It's really good.
As completely biased opinions that I hold on it. It's really good. So check out Dungeon Stories. With that, everyone, this has been Goodland, and I'm glad you're alive.